Welcome to the Starting Over podcast training series. I am your host, Edward Shelton, aka Dark Logos, and in this section we'll be looking at the power support. The power support is very interesting because it allows you to negate the damage that's been done to your figures and heal them up to a previous click. So let's look at it, okay? Give support. Give this character a power action and make an attack roll that is not an attack against an adjacent friendly character as though making a close combat attack. When using this power, neither this character nor the target can be adjacent to an opposing character. Ignore all combat value modifiers for this action. If the attack roll succeeds, roll a d6, subtract 2 from the result, minimum 1. The target is healed of damage equal to the result. That's a big block of text, so let's just break it down. Pretty much you're able to make a close combat attack roll against a friendly figure that you cannot be adjacent to any opposing character, either the figure you're healing or the figure using support. When you roll your d6 for the heal, if you're successful with your attack roll, let's say you roll a 6, you would subtract 2, you heal 4. If you roll, let's say, a 1, you can't subtract 2, but you do get a minimum 1, okay? So, support. How is this useful? Now, in the meta that we are dealing with overall, support is risky, okay? Overall, in dealing with the general meta of HeroClix, support is risky because you have several factors that make a support piece good, but also things that you have to consider when using support. Okay, the first off is when you support, is that figure going to be close up or far back? Well, most of the time that figure is going to be far back. They're going to be in your starting area or near your starting area, someplace safe, because their main goal is to set up a place for you to fall back to so you can recover. The next thing with support is that you're looking at a figure that has very good attack values. Now, the average attack value for a figure with support is a 9. So getting a 9 or better is excellent support. That's an excellent support figure. The next thing that you want to consider is, does this figure that has support have defend or some team ability that allows you to replace their attack value? So let's say, for example, you have a medic. That medic has the Sinister Syndicate team ability. So you can somehow, swap your attack value, replace your attack value with another figure's. Okay, so that's adjacent. So we have a very high point bullseye with a high attack adjacent to this medic, and this medic is trying to heal up Radioactive Man. Okay, so bullseye has a 12 attack. Well, our medic has Sinister Syndicate TA. So that means that we can use that power as a replacement value since it's not a modification. Same thing is, let's say we have Dr. Midnight. I think the experienced version has defend. We're able to defend our teammates' defense to a lower value if it is high. And because defend is a replacement value, we now have a better value in which we're using support. So these are things that we have to look at. So what are the main common powers that we're looking at with support? Defend and somehow getting replacement value. So those are the two big things that we want to look at with support. The other thing that we want to look at with support is how are we going to keep this support figure alive? Or how are we going to get the most out of them? If your support figure has willpower or indomitable, great. That means that they can heal 2 turns in a row. So you might miss your first turn and you don't have to worry about pushing damage on your second time healing. Another power that some people might find a little strange that you might want on a support figure is regeneration. Once you get hit or knocked off of support, you want to hopefully, if you're still alive, be on regeneration so that you can get back to being on support. I mean, that's pretty much almost a no-brainer. Another thing that you might want to consider is energy shield deflection, since most attacks that are coming against you are going to be ranged, or mastermind if it's possible, because mastermind just makes sure that no matter what, that your support figure will not take damage, that you can just shove it off to your opponent. I mean, not to your opponent, to your other figure. All right, so think about that for a while. Now, what type of team setup does support best benefit from? If we have a very defensive team that uses a lot of barrier to create fortified positions, then guess what? You can use support and very easily, because you don't have to worry about your support figure being attacked. At the same time, if you have sort of this run and gun hyper aggressive team, support might not actually be the power that you need, since support slows down your tempo, since that figure that's attacking, once his damage, has to go back to the support figure to heal back up. So that can be an overall problem. That element can be an overall problem. So you might want to think about, what sort of tactic am I pairing with my support figure? Now, if your support figure can handle that run and gun, go ahead. But you're probably just better off investing in more figures or powers that allow you to be aggressive. All right. So how are we going to train with support? Well, real easy. We're going to use 2 support figures. One support figure that I really recommend, doesn't matter what era and HeroClix it is Donald Blake at 33 points, 11 attack with support is great. Another figure that, if you can get a hold of it, is Paramedic. Classic healer that made healing in the game very powerful. If you're able to just get any medic that's under 50 points, just go ahead and play it. Put it on your team and play 2 or 3 games and see how conscious are you of when to heal a figure. Now, this is the last bit of elements that I really want you to consider while you're going into your play testing. And again, we're just going to do a solid game. You pick the point total of how big you want the game or how small. I do recommend no smaller than 300 points. But the key thing that you are asking yourself during this period is this: am I waiting too long to pull back my figure to get it healed? Am I waiting too long to pull back my figure to get it healed? So that's the big question that I want you to write down to the side and ask yourself while you're playing your game, okay? So that's it for this section, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.